Okay, so the 11.1 that starts our last chapter of pre-calc. We do a basic intro to some limits. And then you also can, we'll do a little bit of derivatives in this chapter also. The definition of limit is the first thing we're going to talk about right there. And what it's telling you is there's some function, right, f of x, some function becomes arbitrarily close to a number. And when this happens, it would be like everybody in the room agrees that that's the correct number, or everybody agrees we can round it to a certain number. If that happens, as x approaches some c value, right, so some input, then this output, which we're calling L, would be the limit. So let's go ahead and jump into this. So on these problems, I'm going to jump back and forth between a calculator and this, and so hopefully I keep showing you what we're doing. First of all, we're going to make a table for this first function, and it's 5x minus 3. So I'm going to clear this out. We're going over to calculator here. So we're just doing 5x minus 3. Now the easiest way to do this is we're going to get close to a certain number. So when you go second window, which is table set, always put the number that you're approaching in the start value. And then this one, start with the outside one. So we're at 3.1, so we're going to just move it by 0.1. And so when I hit second table now, you can see on either side. Now disregard the 12 there. We don't need that right now. But write down the 11.5 and the 12.5. And then we can go back to our calculator and we can do table set. Again, we're approaching 3. And now we want to do a little bit smaller, the 0.01. And so you can see now we have 12.05 and 11.95. And I'm guessing if you go and do that one more time and go 0.001, you could probably guess it. This is 11.995 and 12.005. Now, what we did is we moved closer to 3 with the inputs. Our inputs were moving closer and closer. And these blue numbers, these are the outputs. And what you're seeing is that most people in the room, or if you're listening to this lecture, you would agree that this is getting closer and closer to 12. I don't need the number at 3. Now, we do know that if I plug 3 in, 5 times 3 is 15 minus 3 is 12. But I didn't need that. It just so happens that it works. But by definition, we want to know this stuff. As x gets closer to 3, what's the graph or what is the table doing? Now, some students always say, well, just plug the number in and you got it. Well, what happens down here is you end up with 0 over the square root of 1 minus 1, because when you put a 0 there and a 0 there, and you end up with 0 over 0. So you have an error. Well, that just tells us to do something different. So again, we're going to type this into our calculator and look at it. So let's go ahead and type this into our calculator. X on top, and you have to make sure you put parentheses around the square root of x plus 1, get out, minus 1, close it. So again, if we do our table set, we want to start at 0. And this time, we're not doing by 0.1. The very first one we're going to do is 0.01. And if I look at a table, you'll see that there's an error there. That's what we know. But on the outside is 1.995 and 2.005. 0, 0, 5. And then we can do that again, getting close to 0 by 1,000th. And again, you'll see the error. And then on the outside, we have 1.9995, so there are 3 nines there, and 2.0005. And then the last one, I just want to show you because that's a little bit different. So get close to 0 by a 10,000th. Now it looks like there's a 2 there, but if I highlight it, it shows me down here there's 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros, and the 9 would say round the 4 up to a 5. So you have 1.99995, 2.00005. Oops. So there we go. So when you look at all this, again, what are these numbers getting close to? And everybody in the room probably will agree it's getting close to 2, so that's the limit. All right, so this one, they're just asking us to graph, and it's a little bit different graph. So we go to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is where 5 is. And if I go up to 1 and down to -2, what they're telling me is that everywhere x is not 5, I'm at 1. And everywhere x is exactly 5, I'm at an output of 2. So the graph kind of looks like this. And so on this one, we say what's the limit as x approaches 5? Well, if you pick numbers that get closer and closer to 5, you'd have an output here and here and here and here. So all those green dots start to line up at 1. Even though it's exactly 2 down here, we don't use that. It's all about what's happening as you get close to 5. Okay, so this one, if I look at the graph, we're just going to graph the x minus 1 over the absolute value. So make sure you put the x minus 1 in parentheses. And then remember, when you're doing this one, if I hit math and slide over to number, my absolute value is number 1. I get the absolute value bars. You might get ABS with parentheses, but you put x minus 1 there. And we can just graph it. And so that's kind of what the graph looks like. 2 separate lines at 1, and you can do some limits or some graphs of them if you would like. So at 1, that's 1 and -1. So we're here and here. And clearly if we have an issue, so when I come in from here, I have an output, an output, an output. Down here I have output, 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 output. And the problem is that one of my outputs is there, one of my outputs is there. They're not on the same level. If they were arrow to arrow, that would be better, but they're not. And so we say does not exist. DNE, does not exist. So you can go ahead and try the next one, and let's see what you do. That's a DIY. All right, so let's take a look at what you have. So that's like the one I did before. You're at -3 if you're anything but 2, so that's this line out here, and you're 0 if x is 2. So you should have said the limit is -3 because everything is here except for one value. So as you get closer to this x value right here, your outputs keep lining up down here. All right, so now we're going to do the limit as x approaches 0 of x squared, or 1 over x squared. So 1 divided by x squared, and look at the graph. So you'll notice as we come in towards 0, these things go up. And they're both going up. So now some people will say this is going to infinity. And so some people would say the limit is infinity. Others will say dne. And what they're saying is that there is no one value that it approaches. Like it doesn't, by definition, how do you become arbitrarily close to something if you're going to infinity? Never stops. So because both sides increase without bound, you can say dne, or you can, in some problems, they will talk about finding the location, and because both sides are going to infinity, it goes up. So if you have more questions about that one, talk to your teacher. The next one is 1 over sine of x. So type that in, 1 divided by, sine of 1 divided by x. And we want to make sure we're talking about radian mode. So make sure your calculator is in radian mode. And then you graph it. And this is kind of where it's freaking out. So let's go in and make the window a little smaller. So negative 1 to 1. So we're going to get really close there. And let's just do like that's just the scale of 1. And the y values don't need to be too far apart. So negative 3 to 3 is fine. Something like that. So again, I'm at negative 1 to 1. So now we're going to zoom in a little closer. And what we're going to find out, so I'm within 100th. And it's just getting crazier. So draw a picture of it. It's just doing something. Just do something like that. But again, I would say dne does not exist because it oscillates. It really goes crazy. And then the last one, that's number 6. I shouldn't say last one, but number 6. Try to graph that once and see what happens. So kind of treat it as a DIY. All right, so let's go over and see what you did for this one. The graph looks like this because every integer, now integers are like 0, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4. And so you have a dot and then this open circle and the filled in space. And so what they're asking you to do is approach 2, which would be over here. But your outputs as you get close to 2 are on this line, don't worry about this open circle. You're just up here at that line, so that's why it's 1. All right, so you can talk about, write these down. These are conditions. We're going to write the conditions under which limits do not exist, these 3 things. And they are here. So it approaches a different value from the right-hand side and the left-hand side. So if I drew a picture, right, we're talking about 1 is going right here and 1 is up here or something. The arrows are not coming together. Increases or decreases without bound, meaning going to infinity or negative infinity, we can make an argument that there is no one limit or one value when you go into these numbers. We did have the one that went up next to each other, and so since both sides are going to infinity, we can say that they're approaching infinity, but you might not say it has a limit. And then last was that one that oscillates. If they go up and down, up and down, up and down, there would be no limit. So I would look at tables or graphs for these 6 do these as DIY homework style problems, and then I'm going to put the answers up and kind of walk you through anything. The trig functions, make sure you're in radian mode when you look at those. So go ahead and pause the video now and then come back and look at the answers. All right, so hopefully you paused it and had some time to look at the answers. So let's go over here. If you graph the absolute value, it looks like this again. And so D and E, they're not meeting. The arrows, these two arrows are not coming together as you trace in. This one, we can just do what's called direct substitution because the domain for the square root of x is 0 to infinity. 4 fits the domain, so you can just plug 4 in and you get a nice number. This one, again, would be that one. It's like the sine of 1 over x. It's going to freak out. It goes up and down, so it oscillates. So D and E. This one, the 1 over x graph, goes like this. So this one is coming in and going down. This one comes in and goes up. So clearly they're going in the wrong or opposite direction of each other. So D and E. Absolute value graphs are simply V-shaped graphs. And so the domain is all reals. So just plug the number in. 1 minus 1 is 0, and the absolute value of 0 is 0. And sine curves, remember, just go up and down, up and down, up and down. So if you approach one specific value, pi would be this first or the second critical point. Sine of pi is 0. That's the end of the first lesson.